Imagine the vast, indifferent expanse of the Atlantic. A lone ship, sails billowing, cutting through the waves. But something is wrong, terribly wrong. There's no one at the helm, no voices on deck, just the mournful creak of timber and the endless whisper of the wind. What happened to the souls who sailed her, and why did they vanish, leaving behind a perfectly seaworthy vessel, as if swallowed whole by the sea itself? This is the chilling tale of the Mary Celeste, the ghost ship of the Atlantic. Our story begins in 1861, with the birth of a brigantine, originally named the Amazon, built in Nova Scotia. Her early life was somewhat marred by misfortune. Her first captain died, and she suffered a collision, leading to her eventual sale and renaming to the Mary Celeste in 1868. By 1872, after a significant refitting, she was ready for a new voyage. Her captain for this journey was Benjamin Briggs, a 37-year-old seasoned seaman from Massachusetts, widely respected and known for his devout Christian faith and strict abstinence from alcohol. Adding a deeply personal layer to the voyage, Captain Briggs was accompanied by his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia. Their 7-year-old son, Arthur, remained ashore for school. The ship's cargo was 1,701 barrels of highly flammable denatured industrial alcohol, valued at $35,000, bound for Genoa, Italy. On November 7, 1872, after a 2-day delay due to bad weather, the Mary Celeste departed New York City, sailing into what would become one of history's most enduring maritime puzzles. Nearly a month later, on December 5, 1872, the British brig Dei Gratia, under Captain David Morehouse, spotted a vessel acting strangely, about 400 miles east of the Azores. Morehouse, who knew Briggs and was surprised to see the Mary Celeste so far behind, as his own ship had left New York 8 days after her, found the sight deeply unsettling. The ship was sailing erratically, under partial sail, with no one at the helm. Morehouse, concerned, ordered a boarding party led by his first mate, Oliver DeVoe, to investigate. What they discovered was chilling. The Mary Celeste was utterly abandoned. Despite the choppy seas, the ship itself was largely seaworthy, showing no signs of significant structural damage. Her sails were partially set, though some were ripped, and while there was about 3.5 feet of water in the bilge, it was not enough to threaten the vessel's stability. The profound silence on board, broken only by the sounds of the sea and the ship itself, amplified the eerie nature of the discovery. The inventory of the Mary Celeste's condition only deepened the enigma. Crucially, 6 months' worth of food and water provisions were found intact, a detail that immediately ruled out starvation or thirst as reasons for abandonment.
Even more perplexing were the personal belongings, the crew's gear, and the valuable items belonging to Captain Briggs' wife and child were all found undisturbed in their quarters. This strongly argued against theories of piracy or robbery, as a pirate crew would typically have plundered such valuables. However, several critical items were indeed missing. The ship's single lifeboat was gone, suggesting a deliberate departure by the crew. Also absent were Captain Briggs' sextant, chronometer, and navigation book, along with the ship's register, all vital instruments for plotting a course. The last entry in the ship's log was dated November 25th, indicating the vessel had been drifting for approximately 10 days before its discovery. There were no signs of violence, blood, or forced entry anywhere on the ship, leaving investigators to ponder the profound absence of any struggle. This detailed inventory reveals a striking paradox. The ship was abandoned, yet largely orderly. The presence of untouched personal items, valuables, and provisions, contrasted with the complete absence of the crew, deepens the mystery by eliminating common explanations like piracy or mutiny, which would typically involve theft or signs of struggle. The fact that only items essential for escape, the lifeboat and navigation sextant, chronometer, were missing suggests a deliberate, albeit desperate, abandonment rather than a violent takeover. This specific set of circumstances forces a reevaluation of possibilities, making the remaining theories all the more compelling and unusual. The discovery of the Mary Celeste immediately triggered a legal process for salvage. As the Dei Gratia crew brought the abandoned vessel into Gibraltar, What followed was a 3-month-long Vice-Admiralty court inquiry, commencing in December 1872, spearheaded by the formidable Attorney General Frederick Solly Flood. Solly Flood, known for his aggressive questioning and initial suspicions, immediately pursued theories of foul play. He aggressively pushed the idea of a mutiny, suggesting the crew might have become intoxicated by the ship's alcohol cargo, murdered Captain Briggs and his family, and then fled. He also considered piracy as a possibility, or even an elaborate insurance fraud scheme orchestrated by the ship's owners, or a conspiracy between the two captains, Briggs and Morehouse. However, these sensational theories ultimately crumbled under scrutiny due to a glaring lack of evidence. There was no trace of blood, no signs of a struggle, and nothing of value had been stolen from the ship. The personal valuables of the captain and his family were found untouched, directly contradicting a motive for robbery. Furthermore, the Dei Gratia was a slower vessel than the Mary Celeste, making any scenario of an ambush by Morehouse highly improbable. Despite the complete absence of concrete proof of foul play, the court's judgment reflected a lingering suspicion.
Awarding the Dei Gratia crew only 1/6 of the maximum possible salvage amount. This reduced award, despite the lack of evidence for wrongdoing, underscores the profound bewilderment surrounding the case and contributed to the mystery's lasting grip on the public imagination. Among the many theories, the one centered on the Mary Celeste's cargo of industrial alcohol is perhaps the most widely accepted. This explanation suggests that some of the 1,701 barrels of highly flammable denatured alcohol leaked. Records indicate that 9 barrels were found empty, with approximately 300 gallons of the substance having leaked into the hold. This leakage, particularly if the barrels were made of less suitable wood like red oak, could have created intensely noxious and potentially explosive fumes within the ship's poorly ventilated cargo hold. Captain Briggs, a man known for his prudence and with his wife and young daughter aboard, would have been acutely aware of the grave danger posed by such a volatile environment. The compelling idea here is that he might have feared an imminent explosion, a silent, unseen threat that could erupt at any moment. In a desperate act to protect his family and crew, he would have ordered a temporary evacuation into the ship's lifeboat, perhaps tethering it to the Mary Celeste to ride out the perceived danger or wait for the fumes to dissipate. The tragic twist in this scenario is that a sudden, powerful gust of wind or an unexpected surge of rough seas could have snapped the tether, leaving the lifeboat adrift and utterly unable to catch the now freely sailing Mary Celeste, sealing the fate of all aboard. This explanation is compelling because it highlights the profound psychological impact of a perceived threat, even if it doesn't culminate in an actual explosion. Captain Briggs, a cautious and responsible leader with his family's lives in his hands, would naturally prioritize their safety above all else. The overwhelming smell of highly flammable alcohol fumes, combined with the inherent knowledge of their explosive potential, could have triggered an immediate, instinctual decision to abandon ship. This reaction, driven by intense fear and a desire for immediate safety, could have occurred even if the objective risk of an explosion was minimal. This interpretation adds a deep layer of human vulnerability and tragic decision-making to the narrative, making the crew's actions, though ultimately fatal, understandable under such extreme perceived pressure. Beyond human misjudgment, the unforgiving forces of nature offer another set of compelling explanations. One such theory involves a violent waterspout, a phenomenon akin to a tornado forming over water. While a waterspout might not have structurally damaged the Mary Celeste to the point of sinking, its sudden appearance and the associated drastic drop in barometric pressure could have created a terrifying illusion. This pressure differential could have caused water from the ship's bilge to be drawn upwards through the pumps, making the crew believe the vessel was taking on water at an alarming rate and was on the verge of imminent sinking. This perceived rapid demise, rather than an actual one, could have prompted a panicked, immediate abandonment of the vessel. Similarly, the possibility of a seaquake and underwater earthquake has been proposed. Such a seismic event could have violently shaken the ship, causing severe turbulence and potentially damaging the cargo barrels. The resulting tremors and terrifying sounds could have been misinterpreted by the crew as the ship breaking apart or about to explode, leading to a desperate, fear-driven evacuation. In both the waterspout and Seaquake scenarios, a critical detail remains: the Mary Celeste was found largely seaworthy. This implies a profound misinterpretation of the true threat by the crew, where the perceived danger of sinking or exploding far outweighed any actual damage sustained by the vessel. These natural theories highlight a crucial aspect of human behavior in crisis: the role of misinterpretation in a potential catastrophe. Both waterspouts and seaquakes describe scenarios where the crew reacted to a powerful natural phenomenon, but their understanding of its true effect on the ship was flawed. The ship's stable condition upon discovery strongly suggests that the perceived threat was greater than the actual damage. This underscores the inherent vulnerability of human decision-making under extreme stress and uncertainty. When faced with overwhelming natural forces, compounded by limited information or the sheer terror of the moment, fear and panic can lead to critical misjudgments. The tragic irony in these explanations is that the crew may have abandoned a perfectly sound vessel due to a misinformed belief, leading to their ultimate and unexplained disappearance. A more complex theory combines elements of human error and environmental factors, suggesting a tragic cascade of escalating issues. The missing navigation instruments, the chronometer, and sextant are key pieces of this puzzle. Research indicates that on November 25th, the Mary Celeste was significantly off course, approximately 120 miles west of where Captain Briggs had last recorded its position. This substantial navigational error could have been due to a faulty chronometer, leading Briggs to believe they were much closer to land, such as Santa Maria in the Azores, than they actually were. Furthermore, the ship's previous cargo of coal and its recent extensive refitting could have played a critical role. Coal dust and construction debris might have fouled the ship's pumps, rendering one of them disassembled and ineffective. Without a reliable pump, Briggs would have been unable to accurately gauge the 3.5 feet of water found in the bilge, leading to fears of uncontrolled flooding. The last log entry also mentioned foul weather, indicating the ship was already contending with rough seas. In this scenario, a combination of rough seas, perceived uncontrolled flooding due to a faulty pump, and a significant navigational error leading to the belief that nearby land offered immediate safety could have pushed Captain Briggs to make a desperate decision. He might have ordered a temporary abandonment of the ship, believing that a short journey in the lifeboat would bring them to what he thought was nearby safety. This theory highlights the interconnectedness of seemingly minor failures that, when combined, can lead to catastrophic outcomes. It demonstrates how individual issues, such as a problematic cargo, a faulty instrument, and challenging weather can amplify each other. This cumulative effect can push even a seasoned captain to make an extreme decision, leading to a tragic and unexplained disappearance. Despite over a century and a half of speculation, the mystery of the Mary Celeste persists because no single theory offers a definitive, irrefutable explanation for the disappearance of its 10 souls. The ship itself, found largely intact and seaworthy, stands as a silent witness to an event that defies easy answers. The crucial missing piece remains the fate of Captain Briggs, his family, and his crew. What fear? What desperate hope drove them from a perfectly good ship into the vast, unforgiving ocean? Their ultimate disappearance without a trace leaves us with profound, unanswered questions. The Mary Celeste continues to sail in our collective imagination, a chilling testament to the ocean's power and the enduring allure of the unexplained. The Mary Celeste sails on, not just in the annals of maritime history, but in the collective imagination, a chilling testament to the ocean's unforgiving nature and the profound mystery of human disappearance. Please like and subscribe for more mysteries. Thanks for watching.